cultivate the habit of reading amongst the youth of India. Make Mission Make India Read. He reads from for India. And how does he do that? We'll know from him. The average reading speed of most of us is 150 words per minute. Amrut has increased his speed to 1200 words per minute. He reads almost one book a day and has read 1480 books till now. Today, he has 17 lakh young readers who are enthusiastically reading books with him on his free mobile app called Booklet. He is 3 times TEDx speaker and awarded as Youth Icon 2020. He is also an author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Readers. And this KEO session will be further facilitated by Toastmaster Mai Abuzaina. So everyone is requested to please write their feedbacks to Amrut in the chat box. It will help us to create a thank you note for him. Also, please hold all your questions till the end of the speech. And please raise your hand so that Mai can take all your questions. Now let us give a big round of applause and welcome our KEO speaker, Amrut, who will speak on crowded cafes and empty libraries. Over to you, Amrut.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such an enthusiastic introduction. And thank you so much, all Toastmasters. Yeah, as she rightly said, I'm an outdated chartered accountant. I don't read accounting standards and income tax reckoners anymore. I read books like Robin Sharma's The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari and Harry Potter's and Rich Dad Poor Dad for you, for India, and for non-Indians as well. So, because of my one simple belief, and I strongly believe that if I'm not reading, I'm not changing. And if I am not changing, I am not growing. And because of this strong belief, I have a burning desire to cultivate the habit of reading amongst the youth of India. And hence I'm on a mission called Make India Read. It was almost 4.5 years ago. I quit my job in stock market, a fat salaried job, to start a new startup, but it failed. I said, okay, let me try a second startup. That failed too. I tried a third startup, and guess what happened this time? It failed. So with 3 failed startups on my LinkedIn profile, and because of that one failed relationship on my Facebook profile, I was so depressed and dejected. I had no clue what to do next in life. And one of my CA friends saw pity on me and wanted to pull me out of depression. So he said, let's go to watch Bahubali. I've heard a lot about this movie. It's doing wonders these days. So we reached the movie theater 15 minutes before the show time. So how to kill time? So I was reading a book that week, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And I casually narrated him those 7 habits, which were very fresh in my mind because it was my current read. And he was so impressed by my narration. He said, Amrut, look, your reading habit can benefit me if you start sharing your notes or bullet points that you note down in your diary. Start sending them on to me on WhatsApp. And it was like, wow, this is an amazing idea. My reading habit can benefit him. I love reading. I'm a passionate reader. And from then onwards, the seeds of Mission Make India Read probably were sown there. And my first summary, I think, was Abdul Kalam's Wings of Fire. I went back home, read that book once again, made a 20-minute summary, and shared it with 10 of my close friends whom I really cared for, who bought books but never bothered to read them, and told them that please read this summary. If you like it, you can share it with your friends. And within 1 week, I got 1,000 requests from unknown people who were not my direct friends. And since then, there is no looking back. Then came Booklet app. And today, almost 25 lakh Indians and non-Indians across the world are enthusiastically reading books along with me every week. I don't stand for Booklet app. I don't stand for book summaries. I stand for the higher purpose of reading habit. I don't care whether Dipti downloads Booklet app today or not, but I really care If at least one of you is inspired after listening to me and reads at least 5 pages before going to bed tonight, I would declare mission accomplished. All right. So, since I am booklet guy of India, I thought that it is my moral duty or national duty to find solutions to those reading problems. So, how many of you doze off after reading 5 pages? You don't have to raise your hand. I know the answer has to be yes. How many of you struggle to remember what you read in recently? Yeah, from where to start? Yeah, these were the common questions I started getting. Amrut, I leave the books half read. I get started with a lot of enthusiasm, but then after 20-25 pages, I just lose the interest. Yeah, and then I have the guilt of not reading regularly. So I thought I started experimenting with my reading habit, and those experiments manifested into 7 vital habits. And finally, I jotted down into a book, which I named it as 7 Habits of Highly Effective Readers, not written by Stephen Covey, written by me, booklet guy. I hope you can see the book clearly. So I'm going to tell you a few of my habits from this book. Okay. Uh, so as I said, we all have the guilt of not reading regularly. No, we take the book, we leave it half read, and then we take the next book and have the guilt that, oh, I left the previous book half read and I'm taking a new book. What a bad reader I am, right? And that gives birth to the first habit, which is actually a non habit and one of my favorites. Don't take reading too seriously. The keyword is too, okay? TOO. So, what do I mean by don't take reading too seriously? If something is important to you, don't make it special, make it casual, because habits are casual. You take any meaningless trivia activities that we do throughout the day, watching TV, chatting on WhatsApp, gossiping, they all are so casual and hence habitual. And once they become habitual, they are casual. So see, it's a virtuous circle. So do we say, oh, I was watching that movie on TV and then I did not like it, so I changed the channel. Oh, I insulted Shah Rukh Khan. I'm a bad movie watcher. We don't say this, right? Because we transfer the onus, the responsibility to keep us entertained on those artists. We never take the blame. But when it comes to books, we take all the blame. It's also the responsibility of the author to keep you excited, to keep you engaged. Yes or no? It's not all your fault. It's okay to leave books half read. It's not a crime. I've left I've left hundreds of books half read and I don't feel guilty about it because there is nothing called good reader and bad reader. There is only reader and non-reader. All right. Maybe the author was not good enough to keep you hooked. Maybe there was nothing new to learn. It's just old wine in new bottle. Maybe after reading 25 pages, you lose interest and don't feel like going ahead. The whole objective of the book was to teach you what kind of books you should not read. At least that purpose got solved. So chill. It's okay. It's same like the way we watch a video on YouTube and within 10 seconds we take a call whether we should watch the remaining video or not. Same is the case with books. I read the first 10 pages and then decide whether I should read remaining 190 pages or not. Yes, I agree. The old adage goes, don't judge the book by its cover. Yes, absolutely fine. We should not judge a book by its cover, but judge it after reading 10 pages. Fair enough. All right. Let's go ahead to habit number 2. I repeat, habit number 1 is don't take reading too seriously. All right. Habit number 2, the most common problem. I don't get enough time to read books. Before talking about habit number 2, let me give you some backstory. If you keep doing the same things that you have been doing till now, you will get the same results that you got till now. If you want something that you never got, you have to do something that you never did. Expecting extraordinary results without making any changes in your daily routine is a fool's game. Your success or failure lies in your daily routine. Success is not that one massive stroke of genius and you become successful overnight. No, it's the accumulation of those tiny, stupid activities on daily basis, whether positive or negative, will decide your success or failure. And when reading became my top priority, suddenly I started finding great value in those small pockets of time of 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, which we spend mindlessly. And my habit number two is fill in the time pockets. For example, I'm at the railway station, standing in a long queue. I know it's going to take 10 minutes before my turn comes at the counter. What do we do? I just used to stand like a zombie, staring at the dandruff of the person standing next to me. This is disgrace to humanity, fall of human intellect. But today, since reading has become my top priority, I never step out of my house without a book under my arm. And now, when everybody is complaining about the guy working slow at the counter and everybody is complaining in the queue, I am exchanging great ideas with the Sudha Murthis and the Robin Sharmas. It's a big thing, right? Fill in the time pockets. I can give you so many examples. For if you just watched me, I logged in today at almost 6:20, right? And the program was going to start at 6:30 Indian time. Those 10 minutes, I just flipped couple of pages from a book, right? I filled in my time pockets, right? I have to visit my dentist every 6 months, thanks to my beautiful habits, eating habits in the childhood. Okay. And there are few patients waiting before me. Okay. I take out my book instead of staring at their miserable faces and flip couple of pages. That's all. You're not expected to read an entire book in one stroke of 4 hours. No, fill in the time pockets. All right. Let's move on to habit number three. No, we so-called highly educated people like to categorize everything, departmentalize everything. Right? We hate randomness because randomness is the opposite of logic. But habit number three says read random. Read random. Don't fall in love with a particular category of books. No, I read only books which help me in my business. I read only I'm a fiction lover. I read only Harry Potter. No, you have to expose to as many authors, as many kinds of books, because in randomness there is creativity and innovation, right? You look around all the innovative products around you, they're always combination of two random things. You'll be surprised to know 15 years ago a person had come out with an idea to put a camera in a mobile, and his boss sacked him for such a stupid idea. Can you believe this? I can empathize with the boss. He thought that these are two random things. Camera is a special device, dedicated device. Why the hell will people click cameras, click pictures from their mobile? It's made for calling and SMS at the most, right? But today we know the reality. We take more selfies than calling. So randomness is the mother of creativity and innovation. Right? So please read random. Don't fall in love with a particular category of books. I literally expose myself to Chanakya Niti, which is a 5,000-year-old epic, and suddenly jump over to maybe Sudha Murthy. Then I'll read some children's book. Then I'll go to some serious James Clear or Stephen Hawkins. All right. So that's habit number three. Read random. Habit number four. Before that, we need to understand the difference between learning and studying. We learn swimming, we learn cooking, we learn driving. We don't study them. You don't have to know everything that happens in the carburetor in order to learn driving until you know the basics of how to use the clutch, the gear, the steering, the brakes, and the accelerator, and the traffic rules. That's it. Studying is performance oriented. Learning is work in progress. And the objective of reading these general books, which are not part of our school and college syllabus, is to learn big ideas from these books, not to gain mastery on these books. All right. So you have to get the big picture. And that's habit number 4. Get the big picture. Skip the details. You don't have to dwell on a particular paragraph for minutes. Okay, you just have to flip the pages as fast as possible and try to grab those big ideas from the book. Don't waste too much of time on a particular word or paragraph just because you did not understand it. It's okay. Maybe the author has a plan to elaborate it in future chapters, or maybe the fact that he has not elaborated, that means it may not be the most important part of the book. Whatever, keep flipping the pages and read the book with a sense of urgency to finish it, because the objective is to expose yourself to as many books in this world, not to gain mastery on each and every book. It is impossible. As Dipti rightly said, I have read almost 1500 books till now. Do you really think I remember each and every word from them? I'll go mad. But if you ask me, if you put a finger on any of the book in my bookshelf, I'll be able to speak at least for 10 minutes of any of these books. That's all we need, right? So get the big picture, skip the details. Second, habit number 5. Amrut, I don't remember what I read. Yeah, I see many of my friends before starting the book, they take pen, pencil, rubber. Okay, the pens are also of 3 different colors, huh? Blue, black, red. Yeah, I can see big smiles on ladies, especially, and those highlighters. This is the new fashion. Highlighters, fluorescent orange color, fluorescent green color, and scale and rubber. With all these weapons, they start reading, and they highlight so much on each page that the non-highlighted part looks like highlighted. So you don't remember by decorating a book. All right. What about taking notes? Yes, it's a very good habit. But do we really refer those notes in future? I doubt. And it is time consuming as well. The best way to remember what you read is to read and discuss. So that's exactly what you guys are doing in Toastmasters. Yeah. Read and discuss what? Not the summary of a book, not the critical appraisal of the author. 3 big ideas that shattered your mind, which forced you to replace your old beliefs with a new one, old assumptions with new ones, old habits with new ones. So many times it happens that you emerge as a completely different person than what you were just 15 minutes ago after reading that paragraph or a chapter, right? And so read and discuss. You don't have like-minded people who like books. Go Facebook Live, go YouTube Live, go Instagram Live. We have so many simple tools free of charge. Make use of them. Okay, live the book by talking about it. Okay, and that leads to next habit, which is just an extension of read and discuss. Read and pass it on. Reading the book and keeping it on the bookshelf is criminal. Once you are done with the book, proudly hand it over to your friend. And once that friend reads the book, ask him or her, what are the 3 big ideas that you learned? And this is how you revisit the book without rereading it. All right. And then I lend the book to friend number 2, friend number 3, friend number 4, friend number 5. And the book touches 10 different lives. And the book is now completely out of shape because it has gone through 10 different hands. And now the pages are coming out. They have turned yellow. Yeah, there are some the stains of oil on few pages. That's the most beautiful book for me in the world. Yes, and now it is ready to quit. Okay, I'll respectfully make an exit for that book from my life. Right. So read and pass it on, because we need not have to get possessive of this book. Let's try to define what's a book. Is it the white paper and the black ink, sandwich in a cardboard? If that's the real definition of a book, then the most knowledgeable person in this world should have been the Raddiwala, the scrap dealer. For him, this definition is okay. But for you and me, educated people like you and me, a book is just a stupid medium to transfer the great thoughts and ideas of the author into my mind. If once that purpose is solved, you have to lend the book to your friends. All right. And that's habit number 6. Read and pass it on. Habit number 7 is called as the secret habit. And it's a secret, which means it is not even in the book. I've kept it a secret for one unselfish motive, that I want you to read. And so when you read more and more in Booklet app, more book summaries, listen or read, your reading IQ will increase from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is a reading score there. Once your reading IQ reaches 20, habit number 7 will be revealed to you in Booklet app. So read more and you get more. That's the whole idea, and that's the purpose of my life. Okay, so I have it's the purpose of my life to devote each and every breath of my life to cultivate reading habit amongst you. So treat me as your friend, as your partner, reading partner, who will hold your hand throughout your reading life. All right. So thank you so much and happy reading.
Mai, will you please take over?
Sure, dear. Thank you. Thank you very much, Amrot Deshmukh. Actually, it was very, very, very inspired speech. You make our life like as effective readers. You called us like effective readers, and you just try to make our dream become true. Because we always dream about being effective readers, okay, and good readers. As you just said, there is no good or bad reader, there's just a reader, okay. Now we believe that yes, we can be effective readers with the tips that you just mentioned and the habits, the 7 habits. So thank you for making our dream soon become very true.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We are the one who was really saying big thank you for you. And thank you for being with us today. So our great timer, DTM Amiruddin, how long do we have for the session?
Yeah, just passing 21st minute, so you have 4 more minutes.
Thank you very much. So yeah, I have like a reflection that I will start with my side for the reflection before my colleagues, they will also, and my friends, they will start. Now, we always, as just mentioned, that we are dreaming about being readers, okay? And now that the habits, that building habits, it's not something easy, it takes time, okay? But now, as you just mentioned, that the 7 tips that you just mentioned, how we can start gradually, one by one, just to make sure that we build this habit, okay, and not stopping. Because, you know, as building habits, if you just didn't make it at the proper way, by time you gave up. So we need one tip, the most effective tip that you can give it to us as readers, and to be really effective readers starting from tonight.
Sure.
Thank you.
See, as you rightly said, you know, any habit takes time. Whether it is good habit or bad habit, nothing happens overnight. And you know what? Our brain hates huge, humongous tasks and projects, but it loves small, stupid looking activities of not more than 5 minutes. What gives you the willpower to like a post on Facebook or share a joke on WhatsApp or put a comment on YouTube? You don't need any willpower. You just do it because it takes few seconds, right? But if I ask you, you have to read this 300-pager book, or if I ask you, you have to make a PowerPoint presentation of 25 slides, your immediate reaction will be, oh my God, it's a huge task. So here the trick is, to break this huge task into tiny, stupid looking activity of not more than 5 minutes. What if I say you have to read only 2 pages? You will say, oh, 2 pages. I'll just do it right away. Instead of telling you you have to run for 10-kilometer marathon, do 1,000 rope jumps and 100 push-ups. Oh my God, will be your immediate reaction. But if I say you have to do only 2 push-ups, oh, I'll just do it anyway. And then what happens is we get started. And when we get started, the law of inertia comes in place and we feel we like to be in the flow. So I literally start with the objective or the goal of reading only 2 pages. But the best part is I never stop on page number 2. I feel like naturally going on page number 3 and 4 because getting started is half the battle won. So I never look at the thickness of the book. For me, it's only 2 pages. That's the trick. Okay.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. We will start. Definitely we will. Thank you. Okay, I have a question here for you from DTM.
Please raise your hands and ask your questions
Because I
yourself.
received them on the chat. So
Okay.
if you would like to open your mic and share, that would be, yes, we can do that. DTM Christopher?
Yeah, sure. Thanks,
Yes.
Mike.
You're
Amrut, thanks a lot for that wonderful session. My question to you is, what is the top 5 books that you would recommend to an audience like us that you would like to share,
Sure. I'll quickly give you 3 top books. One all-time favorite is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. He's a TED Talk superstar, one of my favorite authors. So you should read Start With Why. Needless to mention, I've covered all of them in Booklet app. One book on relationships, okay, is Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus by John Gray. Very powerful book for those who are about to get married or are in a long marriage but going through a bad patch. It's a must-read book for both of you. Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. You know the power of the book. Divorced couples have come together and remarried again to each other after reading the book. Can you believe? That's the power of a book. All right. Third book, I would suggest the recent ones, Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. He's again an Instagram star. And I highly recommend you to read Think Like a Monk. The book is not on spirituality as such, but using spirituality as principles in modern day life. Okay. So to start with why, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and Think Like a Monk. And of course,
Thank you.
my book as well.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'll go for Juliet. Yes, Juliet.
Thank you, Mai. Hi, Amrut. Thank you for the wonderful session. So I have a common question. I think age-old people where they say you need to have a feeling of the book when you're reading. So how about now going digital? So now we have an app and then we have something over the digital. So do we still have the same feeling, or will it be like parents usually say, so you're always looking into the phones or you're always looking into digital, which is going to spoil your eye. So why don't you just go for a book where you can touch and feel? So what is your thought as a booklet guy?
All right. I have a counter question for you, which will make you uncomfortable, maybe. So
Go ahead.
we were used to watch movies in theaters, and now came Netflix and many OTT platforms. Do we say no, I'm used to that, having a popcorn and a Coca-Cola, I will watch movies only in theaters? See, we easily switched over to Netflix.
That's right.
And then when it comes to books, we say no, I want that feeling and that smell. I call it as selective modernization. These are just excuses not to read. All right. As I said, medium can never be more important than the substance. Thanks to the disruptive nature of internet, the gamut of reading has expanded. The definition of reading has expanded now. It's not only book in hand style of reading anymore. If you and I are technology migrants, these 10, 15-year-old kids are technology native. They're born with a gadget, if not literally from the mother's womb. All right. So I think reading, PDF, Kindle, listening to my book summaries on Booklet app, podcast, TED Talks, they all are part of reading now. Don't you think watching Steve Jobs interview on YouTube is as good as reading part of his biography? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right. So let's.
Like
The
you
whole
rightly
idea
said,
is to
Amrut.
get those big ideas from those people who are more successful or happier than us, right? So medium can be anything. I read on all the platforms. I have Kindles. I have Alexa who reads out a book for me. I have physical books. I have a collection of 4,000 books. And there are so many advantages. You can't read a book while cooking, but you can listen to an audible or my book summary. You can't read while driving, right? I can't carry more than 5 books in my bag, but I have 200 books in my pocket in my mobile. Yeah. So we should welcome technology.
Amazing. Thank you, Amrut. I'll go for the last question.
Sure.
Toastmaster Jenny, the last question. The mic, dear.
Hi, can you hear me now, Mike?
Yes, dear. You're
Hello.
audible.
And I'm right. Thank you so much for the speech. I'm a big fan of reading. I committed at least 1 hour of reading every day. I really like your speech. And in order to promote the word of the day, trivia, I will ask you a very simple question.
Sure.
What is a new trivia you learned from your recent reading? Share with us a trivia you learned recently from
Awesome.
your reading. Thank you.
Awesome. You spoke my mind because, as I said, one of my habits is read and discuss, right? And I'm going to do the same thing. So I recently read a book where the author talks about motivation. We all think that motivation is very important. We take motivation and then we take action. He says it's exactly the opposite. Motivation doesn't cause action. Action causes motivation. All right. You take some action and that motivates you to take further action. I'll give a simple example. My personal experience. When do you feel great? While going to the gym from home or while coming back from the gym after your workout? I think after you have done with your workout and you're coming back home, you feel so elated and excited because all the cells are charged. That means because you have taken action today, that action motivates you to take action tomorrow and you go to the gym the next day, right? Another example. If I fail to go to the gym today, there is probably a chance that I'll not show up in the gym for next 2-3 days. There are a series of days I don't show up in the gym. That means inaction demotivates me to take action tomorrow. So action causes action, inaction causes inaction. So more than positive thinking, I believe in positive actions. All right. The first thing in the morning when I wake up, what am I supposed to do? To make my bed. Although it could be a stupid activity, but it gives a positive message to my subconscious mind that he is an organized guy. He's a disciplined guy. And then the ripple effect is the rest of the day, I'll be most probably doing some positive actions. I'll go to the terrace and exercise. I'll read a book, do my job. But if the first job I do when I wake up in the morning is scroll those news feeds from Instagram, there is a high chance that I'll binge watch movies on Netflix and eat something unhealthy. So see, negative action will lead to more negative actions. Positive action will lead to more positive actions.
Excellent. Very good trivia.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Jenny and Amrut. And we promise you, starting from tonight, we will start apply the habit number 6, read and pass the books instead of just sharing other gifts. So
Wow.
This is the best gift gonna be. Thank you very much for your speech. And I have more on the chat box. I will discuss it later with you.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Certificate, Mai.
Yes,
Please.
dear.
Certificate of to Amrut.
Yes, Toastmaster, yes, please. We highly appreciate your speech and your tips, and please, this certificate for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Happy reading.
Amazing.
Happy reading.
Thank you.